morning and welcome to Mental Health Matters with me, Dr Audrey Tang. This is the show where we look at all things workplace well-being. My co-host is Judith Crosier, and today we are going to meet with digital influencer Venkatesh Rajput. Now, he is Bedford-based, where our studio is, but he is zooming in all the way from India today. So let's head over to the main studio.
Venkatesh, welcome to the show. It's lovely to have you here today.
It's my pleasure being here. Thank you.
Oh, it's brilliant. I'm looking forward to learning about digital influencing. So on that note, some of our viewers may be a bit older. It doesn't mean they're not tech savvy, but it might just mean that some people aren't really au fait with the term digital influencer. Can you explain what that means, please?
That's a great question, actually, to start with. And I would love to answer this in a more precise manner, because digital influencers, not all the flashy social media stars. It's about a person who can shape opinions, change perception in this digital era. And according to a recent survey, it says that about the age of 50 and 65, people consume more social media, like platforms like YouTube, Instagram, not Instagram, but WhatsApp. So it's just the age bracket that fits the platform with. So like Facebook and YouTube are for more older generations, so they consume a lot more content. On an average, like 2 hours they spend on YouTube and WhatsApp. So that's about it. And when it comes to digital influencing, it's about, in old days we used to have our neighbors who used to recommend, this tailor is good, that fabric is nice in that shop. But now it's more digitally. You are sitting at home, looking at your screens, and then a person pops up recommending you something that you love, actually, which is miles far, but you're connected digitally and the world has become more closer now. So that's what digital influencing means. And shaping that opinions and bringing things closer.
I love that.
From people whom you don't know.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah. And that's so interesting, because whilst we do know that the 55 perhaps and over, yes, they're tech savvy, they don't realise they're being influenced sometimes as well, which can be worth raising awareness of.
Absolutely, yeah. I was thinking about my mum. She's 82 and she spends so much time on YouTube, which when she told me that, I was amazed because, but she loves it. So actually, I'd not heard of the term digital influencer, and she definitely won't have. So that's a really good explanation, and really that we can pass that on. Thank you.
Exactly. Just to add on, even I didn't start as a digital influencer. It was a byproduct of my job. I started as a public speaker. I used to do events internationally and nationally all together, and that built credibility, and that gave credibility to my name. And then brands started coming in, and that's when I understood the power that I got through credibility. So people, those who have built credibility, for example, like my mom loves watching cooking shows, and she knows which spices to use from which brands, because she loves the creator that creates and shares his or her opinions.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, that's so interesting. Thank you. So for businesses then, what would the power be of digital influencing?
Just to put it in a sentence first, it has made local businesses globally reachable and discoverable, and global businesses locally more relatable. Because, yes, exactly. So according to a survey, 78% of local businesses who have a digital footprint have seen their engagement and customer deals go forward post-COVID. So that's a very important aspect and the power of digital medium and having a digital connectivity.
No, definitely, because everything can be posted now. Even so, if you're talking about products, you have to wait 5 days instead of walking into a shop and coming out with it, but you can still get what you want from wherever in the world, which I think there is a lot of power, which brings me to my next question. Are businesses actually utilizing that power optimally? And can you give us any examples of a great use of that digital connectivity versus not using it, or not understanding or exploiting, I guess, the power?
Yes, exactly. That's a great question, actually, because we are in a transitional phase. Because being online isn't enough. Using strategically being online is what's necessary right now. What many tech, what many businesses use is they use digital as just as an being as just as a checklist, like having a website, having social media platforms, posting it. But that's not enough. You have to know that what customers want exactly. Every click, how to convert every click into one customer. That's very important. And to share stories that are more relatable, emotionally relatable, and content driven. So that's where we lack, because I have seen when I was working as a freelancer with local businesses, what they used to do is they used to have a website, they used to have their social media accounts post every Friday, but that's not enough actually, because you need to engage with the customers, reply to their comments, share, listen to the customers actually. Like someone has some feedback to give. Next time, share content related to that. That drives more.
That's true. And actually, when you look at reviews online, when the business has responded every single time, not just to the bad reviews or to the good ones only, you actually build up a lot more trust, I think. And that's quite important.
Yes.
But then there are some organisations where I speak really for my profession more than anything else, where digital influence may not be appropriate. So, for example, in therapy, it's really difficult to give useful information in short form content. And it can actually be quite dangerous to do that, because people, and there's been research which shows that people suddenly think they know lots more about science and psychology than they actually do. And so when may it not be appropriate, and when should we be using a digital
Uh,
influence?
it's a great example that you gave, because sometimes businesses should know when to hold back. Because if you are running a mental therapy center, you should post it when it's necessary, like, and things that are necessary,
Yeah.
like how to educate, like simple definition. What does you mean by simple things?
Yeah.
That's more than enough. Don't share more stories of patients or the clients that you have, because you are putting a lot at risk.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So just share, educate people so that they know what it is.
Yeah.
So, for example, I might have anxiety issues, but I never know what exactly anxiety means. But if I know from a social media handle that this is what anxiety means, I would
Yes.
approach them, right? So for
Yes.
such businesses, it's education more, and then the conversion comes private. So it's more like physical plus digital,
Yeah.
digital to educate and physical to run the business and have the
That's
clients.
that's a really good example, because we had a woman who is the ambassador for raising awareness about domestic abuse. And what she says, very similar to what you've said, is she just posts statistics, or she posts links to other organisations, just so people know, exactly like you say, she's a safe space to come to, should anyone be looking for that kind of thing. So I think you're right, just posting things like definitions or something that can be written in short form is more appropriate. Well, Venkatesh, we're keeping you, and we will be back just after this.
And something else as well I would really warmly encourage people to do is, before you post something on social media, attach your own value to it first.
Yes.
Assess it in your own terms. Was this good? Was this cool? Does this represent me? Was this something that I feel was really important? Because social media obviously will then attach a numerical value to it for you in terms of likes, in terms of views, in terms of traction, and in a qualitative sense, in terms of what people said. So before you let that post ruin your day because it didn't get enough likes, evaluate it for yourself first.
Welcome back to Mental Health Matters Office Hours, where we're talking to Venkatesh Rajput about digital influencing. It's a really interesting discussion. Can I ask, how does digital influencing or digital influence compare to the old-fashioned word of mouth passing of information through conversation rather than, reviews of sites and through social media?
That's a wonderful question. We used to, in old-fashioned ways, word of mouth was the main source of conversion, but now it's just the evolution of it. It's the scale and the time and it's more measurable now. Before we used to reach 10 people through word of mouth in a month, say, but now it's just 1,000 people in a day. So that's what it is. The heart is trust. Earlier, it used to be just trust and then conversions. Now it's more like trust, which can also be paid and taken into account. So also the customers or the viewers need to know what is authentic right now. So that's sometimes viral things are not authentic.
True.
And yes, once authenticity is built, that gets shared and it does not even cost. It's just the scale. And now the word of mouth could not be measured in old-fashioned ways. Now it can be measured and it's just amplified version. It's like holding a microphone and having an amplified voice.
Yeah.
And actually that's true, because when something, it's like word of mouth, it spreads. You tell someone, so you send them the link with that. Otherwise, with a review site, you're just going to search on the review site that you know, and maybe you'll get one opinion.
Exactly. You're only going to get a small snapshot, not a broad view. Yeah, very true. And is it costly to invest in digital influence? I mean, what could businesses do that are simple with what they already have?
Actually, to be very honest, it's more convenient and it's more reachable. Like, for example, print media, which used to have so much impact earlier. I had a client who used to give pamphlets and paper leaflets to customers and go home to home, house to house,
Yes.
handing over those. But with the cost of one leaflet, you can reach 1,000 people now. That's the power of digital influencing. Bringing someone just for 100, 200 pounds will create, like, say, 10,000 pounds or 20,000 pounds worth of business.
Okay.
That's 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 how it is. And for example, small tips for to increase it. Just don't share what you do, like share how you do it. For example, yes. For example, if you run a coffee business, show how it's grown, like show how farmers grow coffee, how it's roasted, how it's delivered. That creates more connection with people than just saying what products you have. Second is customer engagement that needs to be done, because whenever you are addressing someone, especially address with their name in the comment section, just don't respond. That creates more authenticity. Respond to comments. Just don't post it and leave it on just on their own. You have to respond, and you don't need a media agency. It's a myth that at start local businesses need a media agency. No, it's just the tools that you have these days. AI has come so much forward that you just can create a website by your own, just within minutes, and start a business. So it's actually less spend and more reach.
Actually, you make a really good point about how we used to do things, because actually we don't think about that. I do remember when we did shows, we used to do the physical posters, and that would cost about £100 to do the whole thing. Whereas you can just create a poster on social media, post it, and you'll still get the same audience. It's just a different reach. So you are actually right. You're just substituting the amount you would pay for one thing into another thing, but you don't always think of it that way. So it's really good that you've made that visible and clear.
Yeah, sometimes it's good to have the sorts of obvious status because we don't often think of it.
That's it.
Yeah.
So we've been talking a lot about business to client. What about business to business? How can digital influence work there? Because business to business, you get a little bit more used to, and they still exist, the networking fairs, the trade fairs, going to see people rather than, I don't know, sliding into their inbox.
Exactly, and that used to be more daunting to me because honestly, I was a very social awkward person when I started, and it was a horrible experience walking into an event and networking with people and meeting clients. But digital influencing has changed so much. Like in B2B section, it's more like there's one more additional step in between that you network digitally, build contacts, and then the client comes in. For example, you run a marketing agency, share insights on LinkedIn, how you shaped a customer's or a client's business into something new, out of ordinary. Like in software company, how successful they were building a software for a client. That gives you more clients. Whereas in digital influence, in terms of as a social media influencer, I recently got a deal with an event venue management company. They book venues for events, mostly for business conferences. So they wanted me to make an ad, showcase how exactly the venue is, and then it just amplifies. Some person will take a note of it. They won't instantly buy. Like in B2C, they'll purchase a product is purchased instantly. Here, they take a note of it, network it, and whenever it's necessary, they come to you.
Yeah.
And it's a digital era. Every footfall on digital will be kept for eons now. It will be forever on internet. So the memory has expanded there.
It's about being out there, isn't it? You just need to have that footprint, I guess. So a lot of your work also is locally about helping businesses connect with each other and helping the town to thrive. What interventions can help do that and turn around the town? Because you see it, all the shops are shut now since COVID. What can happen with digital influence? How can that help to turn it around?
It's very simple, and this is the most heart-touching thing for me, because that's why I started my company as well. Because when I was working, I saw what hardships local businesses face post-COVID, especially when everything has gone digital. So the small steps that businesses can take is every local business, doesn't matter who they are, what they are, no budget, it's absolutely fine. Have a digital presence first. Have a digital presence. Every business, every freelancer should have a digital presence. That's number one. Second thing is collaborate. A florist or a cafe owner collaborate with each other, give certain deals, and then you are just reaching out to each other's customers, but also having a digital presence. Everyone is post online and collaborating together. That amplifies voices. And the third thing is include content creators, local content creators who can amplify their voices. Now, so every local business has their social media page. They promote it. And they know this town has this kind of culture, heritage, and this kind of businesses run in this town. And if it's digitally available, the town is thriving. Here you go.
I think that is brilliant. But what happens, and this is a personal question, because Jude applies for grants for our fundraising events, and we've got some great people to sponsor us and that sort of thing. So that would be a collaboration. We have an excellent social media page, and it's always being updated, and we are always putting their logo on there and everything, but they're not sharing that. So
that's true.
Then it becomes a little bit frustrating, because it's almost like, well, they've given you the money, which is great, but that amplified reach isn't happening. So is that a case of going to different people? What should we be thinking about? This is, so as I say, it's a personal question.
It's a great question, though.
That's a great question, actually, because it just says that you're not reaching out to the right people. You need to reach out to right people who share content. For example, I might create a content of fashion, and I reach out to people who sells products like fiber optic cables, or for example sells coffee, and I'm a fashion collaborator. I go to that person. I'm in a wrong direction. I need to reach out to right clients and right customers and right people. So it's just the direction that needs to be changed in that case. Second thing is, if they are not being amplified, that's where digital tools these days can amplify your voices. It's okay. Spend a little bit more, few more bucks. It's okay. Boost the post, reach out to audience, test the audience. You can measure. It's an era where we can measure the results.
Yeah.
You know what age group interacts with the post. What are their preferences? Next time, whenever we are posting, share to that audience.
Yes, I see what you're saying. Yes, because you do get those analytics back, and then it's we haven't boosted posts for a while. That's maybe we need to start doing that again. No, brilliant. Well, you're staying with us, Venkatesh, and we will be back just after this.
So I really like using AI and tech to support health. So here are a few things I'd like to recommend. So first of all, if you're looking at Google or AI tools like ChatGPT or Llama from the Meta platform, I would really encourage you to look at the settings, the privacy settings, because those platforms, they are vulnerable to being hacked, or people can find out your personal information if you are asking these platforms questions that include any personal references. So there are ways to add in security settings, but I would actually recommend using other platforms, including Perplexity. Perplexity is a platform that's got much stronger security measures. Your data isn't as vulnerable. They've got a different way of setting up their settings. So going into Perplexity as an AI platform to ask your questions is my recommendation. There are also two platforms that are based in Europe. One is from Proton, which is called Lumo. And because they're based in Europe, they comply with a European law, so there's a stronger privacy setting. And they're available both as a browser and an app. But there's also Green PT. So they are only browser-based, but they are very environmentally friendly, and they're also high on security. So I would recommend Green PT and Luma, which is the Proton one, as well as Perplexity, because they are, as far as security and personal privacy settings, they are sort of safer. Obviously, this is all very new world for all of us, but at least they seem to be thinking about these things, whereas ChatGPT and Llama are not so much. So check out those features for whatever tool you like to use. Then going into apps, I'm using Adzello. You can, and there will be presumably a link in the show notes to this platform. It's Slovakian. It's a small team. I love their ethos. Adzello also is highly customizable, both for the free version, but especially for the paid version, which I think is about £20 for the year. So it's reasonably affordable, I think, for most of us. And it's highly customizable. And this is where AI sort of combines with logging data points. So you list how you're doing in terms of moods and activities throughout the day, but also the AI features within that app show you trends. So it shows you, like, what are some of the activities that are doing on the days when your mood drops, or like tracking pain. This can see, oh, you were speaking to so-and-so, you were doing this when this spiked or this symptom went worse. So actually, because it's highly customizable to your own needs, you can actually make it almost like your health assistant. It's also, you can do backups from it if you pay for the paid version. So that's also about being able to track and own your data. in case the platform goes down, because, if we give all our information into a platform and then they go bust and we haven't got a backup for ourselves, we've lost all that information. So I would say for any kind of tracker, habit tracker, health tracker, check some of those factors, the security features, the backup features or export features are really, and that it's customizable to you. So, so I would really encourage you to do that. And then finally, I want to talk about wearable tech. So Visible is an app that a lot of people use that I support in the chronic fatigue, chronic pain community. You've got armband, or you've got something on your wrist, I think, as well. So they track lots of things that you can then look at and then steer your activity, steer your energy use, depending on what the wearable tech is giving you. There's also Aura, which I'm curious about. I haven't used it myself yet, but I'm looking at it and the reviews and some of the science behind it. It's basically a smart ring. There's a few of those around now, a smart ring. Some of them are not very reliable. They're not very consistent in the data tracking. And some of them don't seem to be that strong on the science beneath it. So as much as you're able to check some of that, and actually you can use platforms like Perplexity or Green PT to do some research about how reliable is this smart tag? What are the issues with this particular brand? So you're getting that kind of informed consumer choice. So I hope that's been helpful. I hope you can use some of these. I find technology is super helpful with the people I support, as well as my own practice. But it's that kind of using it in a smart way, rather than just using it sort of because other people are using it, or using it because that's what the tech offers. Make the tech work for you, and bring in that curious, but also kind of critical, informed consumer choice to make the choices that you are making.
Welcome back to Mental Health Matters Office Hours. We are talking about digital influence, and it's been a fascinating conversation so far. Really, really helpful, very applicable to all businesses. So if you've just tuned in, do rewind and learn about what your business can do to become better at digital influencing. And that isn't any fancy term. This is amplifying what used to be known as word of mouth in the era where we are all digital. So it's a great conversation we're having with Venkatesh. Now, you have created an app called Adzello. So tell us a little bit about this app and what you're hoping to achieve with it.
It started when I started my freelancing. I went on to events and I started collaborating with local businesses, and I got to know how hard it is to reach to customers because they don't have massive budgets. They don't have massive ad spend budgets, and they don't have necessary resources to reach out to audiences. So Adzello is first of its kind in the world that I'm trying to build, where you can collaborate without knowing who it is. It's done through AI, and then run joint marketing at half a budget, and share your stories, share your products with double the audience at 50% of the cost that you're doing. So that my main aim was to address the issue of ad spend, like how much the budget they have. And I don't want local businesses to spend a lot more on marketing agencies. So instead, to cut down all those things, I wanted the local economy to thrive, freelancers to thrive. So that's why I built Adzello, where local businesses can collaborate with each other, include freelancers in it to create something for them digitally, and then share the joint campaigns.
I think that's a really nice idea, and I think that takes a very specific mindset. So this kind of leads to my next question with how you're addressing that, because I think there's a lot of, not secretiveness, but people are they're used to working in silos. We work on our own. If I do something here, then do I lose out here? So, and my question is, how does it differ from the things that are in place, like such as Bedford Recommend Me, or Northampton Recommend Me, or those sorts of group pages? On top of which, whilst those exist, we're always willing to collaborate, but I do find people are not always willing to collaborate with us, in that they're suspicious of whether we're trying to get money off them, or so how do we change that mindset? So what's the difference between what's out there and how And if it is a mindset, how do we change the mindset?
Exactly. That's a great question. Firstly, it's not just a listing platform where you list your businesses
Yeah.
online. It is you create like how you have a LinkedIn account, or you have a Facebook account. You just create an account, build your online presence, you verify your profile, and that's first credibility
Yeah, it's
point.
true.
You verify your profile, and then it I might not willing to collaborate because I want my things to be very much secretive. It's absolutely fine, but you can at least network. You don't use it to share joint campaigns. It's okay. It's absolutely fine. Connect with people, get more resources. Like, for example, I might have a business in Bedford or Luton, but I might discover someone who is selling things at a cheaper cost in Manchester, and I outsource those things from there instead of London
Yeah.
at a half a budget. It's more discoverable.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that it differs. Adzello completely differs from things that are there. It's just LinkedIn is for professionals, Adzello is for local businesses and freelancers. It's a community. And one thing in my head is very clear, and even the stats show that if someone does not collaborate, the chances of growth is very small. It doesn't matter. You have to collaborate with the same person in the same industry. Uh-huh. It's someone very different from a different town. Collaborate with them, run joint campaigns, because here you are targeting 2x the audience at half a budget.
Yeah.
And that will only change when they try it.
Yeah. That's true.
We have never, like, I am always suspicious of trying like of something new. Unless I try it, I will become more confident, isn't it? I'll become more confident when I'll try certain new products. So you have to try first because they are verified. Plus, you are bringing tech which verifies everything, and then it's very much easy.
So how would somebody go about starting an app?
Businesses do not need to have an app
Okay.
in this digital era, because if you have social media accounts, that's more than enough. If you have a website, that's more than enough. App is just an expensive edge of tech, in my opinion. Unless you have grown three-folds of what you had imagined, you don't need an app. In the case of Adzello will be an app that will address issues because everything will be stored. You just log in and you have your data there.
Yeah.
You know you can track the performance of it. But if a local business wants to start an app, that's not something that I would recommend.
Okay.
I think that's really helpful advice, though.
So you don't need to spend more than you need to spend, in other words.
So are you saying, sorry to interrupt your next question, but are you saying that apps are better for networking purposes, to bring people together, rather than, because we get told this as freelancers a lot, oh, just get an app. And then other people who are freelancers, oh, I've got an app. And you know, you sort of start thinking, I don't have an app. Do I need an app? And so you're kind of saying, actually, there's really no need if you've got a social media presence.
Exactly. I've seen businesses who don't have app, just sell on social media. They don't even have websites.
Yes.
They have customers, thousands of customers.
They WhatsApp them.
Have less than few hundred customers.
Yeah.
That's absolutely like bizarre for me. Yeah, exactly. Why spend so much? Instead, spend that money onto certain other things. Try bettering your product.
Yeah.
Try bettering the service that you offer.
Yeah.
Reach to more customers. That's more than enough, rather than having an app. It's not at all necessary.
Okay.
I love that.
Great advice.
Everything is free. Like, you have cloud space. You have cloud space, which is given free of cost. And then if you want certain extra space, you can just buy for just few more bucks. And that's more than enough.
That's the honesty we need on this show, you know, because honestly, the number of guests, freelancers in particular, who want an app or have an app, and I don't know what it does, but all you hear, and this is like this whole sort of influence thing, all you hear is, oh, I've got one, and then you think, am I missing out? Well, I do, you know. I haven't got an app.
No, we don't need one.
Don't think we need one. No, I like that.
Thank you. This is brilliant. Where can we learn more about you?
On our LinkedIn page, as well as our website. So Adzello has a very beautiful website where it showcases its products, like the services that it offers and how it will be achieved. So the prototype will be rolled out in phased manner now. First, we'll be testing in Bedford and Luton parts of UK, and then we go on to the Manchester region, and then we try and test there and see what customers exactly and clients face difficulties or have issues with, because I'm a person who listens to critics' posts and try to see and verify if that's true or not, and then work on it rather than hearing all the praises of what's good.
Yes, that's definitely what they say about Harvard Business Review talks about that. It's about how you need to learn from your successes by working out what actually could have gone wrong and didn't. So I think that's really sensible.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
Brilliant, thank you. So so people could go onto your website at Adzello and
Adzello.com.
Yes, Adzello.com. Thank you.
As well as on our LinkedIn page.
Great.
As well as people can connect to me over LinkedIn and learn more about it, because I share industry insights as well as what Adzello is doing currently on the platform. So there's more scope to learn new things and new insights.
Yeah. Amazing. Well, we look forward to seeing you when you're back in Bedford. And it will be lovely to chat with you again. Thank you so much, Venkatesh. It's been a real pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Well, we'll head over to Business Boost. Sticking with today's topic of digital influencing, I wanted to focus on how we can use AI to help us in our business. And I know we've had lots of shows on the problems of AI and how to use it sensibly, but this is one really good tip that I got from 3 Enrollment Marketing. If you now go onto a search engine and you type in your business or your name, immediately AI brings up all the information that it has on you. Now, 3 Enrollment Marketing talks about one click. That's all you really get for people to find you and to find out about you. So go into a search engine, type your name or type your organization, type your business, and see what is coming up. And if you aren't the one coming up first, you might need to do something about that, because when people have searched for you, they found somebody else with your name, they will go and look at them first. So just think one click and use AI to make sure that one click is worth it.
So here are my top 3 tips that business should follow. Is number 1, authenticity before aesthetics. Build more authenticity, build more credibility, and connect to the audience. Mega influencing versus micro influencing. Target micro influencing because targeted influencing would have more reach and more credibility to your business. And third one, collaboration and conversation rather than communication. It's not just communication, it's having a conversation and collaborating with other partners. So these are the top 3 tips that you can use these days.
It was a great and really helpful conversation.
Really refreshing.
Yes,
Yeah.
to be honest about it.
Yes.
Because you'd almost think, and we see it, an app designer might be, oh, of course you need an app. You need an app for everything. And recently, I was approached to make an app out of my books, which is great.
Oh, wow.
But actually thinking about this, I don't think it's going to sell more books. In actual fact, I think it will sell fewer books.
Oh, really?
Because I think they break down everything too much.
Right.
And then why would you want that anymore?
Yeah.
You may as well buy the book.
Yeah, well, yes.
Or not buy the book, right? You've got the app, so, you know.
That's a really good point, actually.
So maybe it's not for everyone.
It's not for everyone. It's not for every product.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's
and
a really good point.
if it dilutes the product that you've got, then maybe it's not wise to have one.
Yes.
So it was just an interesting thought whilst we were having a conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. And that kind of links to my kind of main takeaway from the discussion, which was you need to spend enough money to increase your reach, but why would you spend more money than you have to?
Yes.
You know,
yes.
There are things you can do that are free or that don't cost very much. But on the other hand, if you need to spend a little bit of money to boost your post, then do it.
And it's about spending the money in the right place and knowing what the outcome actually is, because what he was talking about there was how his app helps businesses recognise each other in a less content listing way, but in a more interactive kind of way, networking way. And that's what I've seen of really successful apps at the moment. So an app that it's called Indie Local. It tells you all of the street foods that are around, which is fantastic, because there wasn't an app where people would know, oh, there's a street food event going on at this time. And then street food vendors can also join the app, and so they all know when the events are going on. That makes perfect sense.
I love that, and that would have been so handy for me in my previous job. Because I had to find things like that all the time, and it was really hard.
Yeah, but it sounds like that kind of app is more useful in today's digital landscape.
Yes.
Maybe a reviews app, those sorts of things, which is more collaborative and more communicative, exactly what Venkatesh was saying, rather than here's my products in another format.
Exactly. Because then you can kind of saturate everything, can't you? So it's using apps in an innovative way.
Yes.
Really. That's what they're for.
The only other way I've seen businesses use apps, and I'm thinking about the apps I've got on my phone, are sometimes if you use the app, you get loyalty points.
Yeah, true.
So I get that.
Yeah.
If that's a product that you use all the time,
yes,
then it makes sense to... So I use a holiday hotel booking app, and it's great because the more I use it, the more it gives me points. So why go through the website? You know, just join in under my name and then I get all these extra discounts.
Yeah.
But for something else where it's not giving me anything more, why?
Yeah, I do wonder about the point of having some apps, because, you know, they have a website and the app doesn't do any different. It just means it does mean you can look at it on your phone, but for somebody who doesn't really like doing things on their phone, it's zero benefit. Yeah. But I suppose for people who do everything on their phone, then that's the only benefit of an app. It doesn't give you any extra benefit to what a website would give you.
So I think today's learning for me is much more about know what you're trying to achieve and what the best way of achieving it is. And it was such an authentic, honest conversation.
Yes, it really was.
Well, from us all here at Mental Health Matters, have a healthy week.